Welcome back, everybody, to the Hoops Post Up. Today we are talking NBA Dream Team 90s.
90s edition. Everything's going back to the 90s now. I think the 80s is like where it came and went, right? Everyone though is just kind of tired of the whole 80s thing, right? So I think now 90s is time to bring it back into style. Not talking about the close of the music, please no. But in the NBA these days, there's nothing new going on. So we're looking back at some of the good old days. And honestly, even though I grew up 80s watching basketball, I always liked the 90s style. I know you did too, because defense actually mattered. And, the 80s had those high scoring games, right? Running gun, it was all about transition. In the 90s, they're like, you know what?
Let's
We don't
put a
need to
stop to all
score.
that.
Like, why do we
Pump
need
the
to score?
brakes. And exactly. We were watching the other day, and it was halftime, and they had like 43 points.
Yeah, combined.
36 points.
Seriously. No, and of course, the Heat, being a Miami fan, love that style of play, right? Pat Riley with teams like Zoe and Hardaway and Marley, some of the best players of the 90s. And they had those teams where you just didn't want to go in the paint, right? And there wasn't people jacking up threes quite as much. So it was definitely a tough time to be an NBA player. We're going to make some tough choices. We're going to talk about our NBA dream team for the 90s, and we did this for the 80s. Check out that episode, of course. But this is going to be even tougher. Some close choices here to make for the 90s.
You have 5 and only 5 to pick.
That's right. Not a full squad. We're picking one per position, and we'll see who you got.
Okay, our first selection, we are having to start with the point guard, the controllers of the game in the 90s, right? They set the tempo. So we have Stockton and Payton.
Tough choice. Now, of course, John Stockton is the all-time assist leader, so he's got that going for him. That's pretty nice. Gary Payton,
He had, what, 12 assists a game?
Yeah, it was something. I mean, you think it's
Completely
pretty
outrageous.
obvious. I mean, but here's the thing. Okay, Gary Payton, very, I say underrated. He's a Hall of Famer. But that defense, right? I mean, called the glove for a reason. So you kind of have to give that to him, the fact that he did have that a little bit undervalued part of the game. I know for him, everyone knew about it. I was surprised, though, looking at it, their steals, we know that Peyton obviously getting steals. Stockton averaged just as many steals. I didn't know that. It was almost the same. It was 2.2
I remember.
per game. But here's the thing. Now, Peyton had what? Sean Kemp for a little while. That was it. Stockton had Malone. Do you think that kind of goes in his favor because he had another Hall of Fame player with him? Do you think that maybe he gets a lot of his assists because he had a Hall of Fame player with him?
For sure, yes, definitely.
How do you look at that?
No, I definitely think that because he had Malone on the other end,
it made it easier.
Definitely going to make it an impact on his assists. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so which way are you leaning on this one? I'm going to make you pick first.
You're going to make me pick. I'm going to go Chippy, and I couldn't stand watching him play. Couldn't stand it. I cringed every time I saw him in person. Yeah. I'm going Stockton.
You're going Stockton.
I'm picking Stockton.
Because
although I like Gary Payton better.
Because we're picking who you'd want on your team.
Yeah.
If you're the coach, you're the GM.
He was scrappy. He was chippy.
Okay.
I want him on my team.
Peyton was also a little chippy at times. I got to go Peyton, actually, because I'm going to say, look, I'm not knocking Stockton, but I'm just saying, look, he has Karl Malone, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. That's half of those assists were in the same damn play, right? Just drop it off to him. Malone did a lot of the work finishing it. When you have a finisher like that,
good? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, boosted the numbers a little bit. Sean Kemp was a good player, but he wasn't Karl Malone, right? And I think Peyton was the one really running the show there. Stockton was also
just saying that because he was on your team? Your team?
I'm not saying that. Just fact, did win a championship. We're not talking about championships. He did win one in the 2000s with the Heat. But just in the 90s, statistically, they were almost the same. All right, Peyton a little bit of edge in scoring, rebounding.
He did have.
Stockton had the edge in assists.
Points per game.
Yeah, but that's not a big difference. But I know you're saying, Stockton was more of the, the floor general in that sense, and obviously had more assists, right? And that's what point guards do. But to me, the little bit better defense, but also I'm just saying some of those numbers are a little bit inflated. Just because of Jerry Sloan, right? He had a great coach. He had a great Hall of Fame player with him. You put him in Seattle, is he going to have those same assist numbers? I'm going Payton, but you
I'm
have your
going-
Stockton.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm going Stockton.
All right, you have your
Even
dream
though
team
I'm
member.
telling you, couldn't stand watching.
All right, we're going to move on to the shooting guard position. I had to stretch a little bit here, honestly, because I think you already know that we're not including Jordan because it's pretty obvious that he wins all of these arguments. So who was next? We got Reggie Miller, definitely known in the 90s. And then, yeah, I kind of had to force this one in here. Grant Hill, more of a small forward, but you know what? We're just going to debate these two players anyways.
Okay. All right, let's do this. So I'm thinking, gosh, I remember them playing. And I loved to hate to watch, to love to hate to watch one player on this team. I mean, on this like selection.
You know, I have to think, honestly, that I know he went to Duke, but come on, Grant Hill, he's not that bad a guy. You can't hate him.
He went to Duke.
Yeah, he did go to Duke. That's what you're talking about, right? No. I wonder what it's like, honestly. What is it like to be a Pacers fan? If you're in Indiana, could you root for Reggie Miller? And do you think, like, even Pacers fans hated him, but like, but he's on our team, like he was good? How can you root for Reggie Miller, honestly?
But I think they loved him. He
I'm
did
sure
so
they
much
did.
for their
I'm sure they did. I just don't know how you could do it.
Oh my
All right.
gosh. Okay.
But if you got to pick a guy on your team, Reggie Miller, yeah, he was an okay shooter, I guess. I mean, who would you pick?
Wow. I'm going with Reggie Miller. I don't want Grant Hill on my team.
Really?
Yes.
You don't want Grant Hill on your team.
Grant Hill, how many times was he injured in his career? Okay.
Okay, but look,
couldn't count on him.
We're talking just 90s, right? Now,
Yes.
it was his first few years with Detroit. He was pretty healthy. It wasn't until a little bit later he got hurt, right? Okay, so just the 90s. That's the thing. We're talking about these stats.
You're thinking Grant Hill is a better all-around player.
Well, he is.
I'm thinking for my team in the 90s, three-point shooting wasn't as common, right? It was a rarity. Jordan, Reggie. I'm going with Reggie.
You're going with Reggie. Yeah, I mean, shooting 40% at three back when that was not common.
And free throw shooting.
Yeah, great free throw shooter too. I mean, yeah, just a knockdown shooter. That's kind of important to have on your team. So, you know, Grant Hill was not a three-point shooter.
Reggie was clutch. Reggie was clutch. I hated to watch him. Yeah. Hated to hear him talk. I still hate that.
I cannot. Honestly,
I still hate to hear him talk. I turn it off.
Yeah,
sorry, Reggie.
Same thing. No, honestly, just stop. But
Chris
look,
Webber,
let me tell you, Grant Hill.
Talk to me, Chris.
Reggie. Love Chris Webber. Okay, but as far as I know, you're saying, yeah, having that knockdown shooter, having a guy who's clutch, having a guy who can get the free throws and three-pointers, especially at the end of the game, we know that. Never led his team to a championship. I'm not saying that's all that matters. Not saying that Grant Hill did either, but Grant Hill underappreciated, especially early in his career, because it never quite took off to that next level when he went to Orlando and everything.
He couldn't get there.
But look at just the stats from the 90s. Okay, so Reggie Miller was a shooter, but that's it, right? Okay, he was a good defender.
Good defensive player.
But Grant Hill averaged almost 8 rebounds a game, assists, right? Was like 5 or 6 more, getting his teammates involved, right? Reggie Miller was catch and shoot.
But
Grant
Reggie
Hill
was
a
clutch.
good all-around
Reggie
player.
is someone who I could count on at the end of the game to make that shot and make you hate the end of that game.
And he did, which is the only reason I'm not picking him, even though I realize he's the superior player.
All right, so up next we have 2 small forwards. Obviously, we're picking between these 2 guys, right? Chris Mullen and Scottie Pippen. And I have my opinions, and I know people aren't going to like what I have to say.
Everyone's got an opinion, but let's back it up with some facts here. Okay, now here's the thing. With 2 actual dream team, we're talking about our dream team, right? 90 dream team. 2 guys on the dream team, both well-deserved. Here's the thing, okay, with Scottie Pippen, it's pretty obvious. The case for and against him, it's all the same. We already know. He played with Jordan, right? Did that propel him, make him a lot better? Because, yeah, hey, the defense isn't too worried about Scottie Pippen. They're worried about Michael Jordan. But also, I mean, you can't take away from him.
He was left open because he had to be left open. Like,
but
seriously,
I mean, so was
this is an easy
Craig
call
Hodges.
for me.
So was all the others. Tony Kukoc didn't become a all NBA player. So I'm just saying that I feel like I was one of those guys. I used to trust me. I hated the Bulls, hated Pippen. I still am not a fan of Pippen's, but I think he kind of gets a bad rap. You kind of got to give him credit for what he did because.
Oh no, he was no.
You
Chris
give
Mullen.
0 credit.
Chris Mullen for sure.
Well, give me the case. Why would you pick Mullen? I mean,
I'm going for Chris Mullen for my outside shooting again. and his free throw percentage as well. Now, he could do the same that Scotty could.
Yeah,
he didn't have as many
all
assists,
around.
like I get that. And he didn't have as many rebounds. But defense, pretty close.
Not too bad. I mean, Pippen definitely known for his defense. Mullen maybe a little bit underrated defender. Both kind of do-it-all players, right? Obviously, that's what this position calls for. It's hard to say with the defense. Pippen has that long reach. He's got the athleticism, but also, that the system he was in, having a guy like Jordan around, yeah, that helps. But still, I think you got to give Pippen the credit as much as I hate to do it. Love Mullen, right? Trust me, I would pick Mullen if I could, but man, it's just I can't. You got to go with Pippen, but you're going Mullen.
I can't not. I can't.
Can't bring yourself to do it.
I can't go Pippen.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's got to be Pippen.
Mullen.
All right, now it's going to get good. This is really the showdown we've been waiting for, and we could do a whole episode. We probably should do a whole episode just on this.
We should.
All right, power forward. Who you going with? Got Barkley or Malone, the mailman or the round mound of rebounds?
He's still pretty rounded. Sorry.
That's for sure. You're not going to complain with either one.
Both of them were so much fun to watch. They really were. I mean, got under your skin.
Through your mailman, literally through your skin with that elbow.
Hated watching them, right?
Yeah, we're not talking personalities here, right?
Hated playing against them, but no, I already know who I'm gonna pick.
Already?
Yes,
I haven't even talked about it.
I want to talk about it.
Okay, well, let's see. Now, Malone did score more. Both these guys have an MVP, and neither guys have a ring. So that's the thing. They're so comparable. Neither of them were able to get a ring. So close. Malone was a little bit better scorer. He averaged about 26.7, I think, points per game in the 90s, just the 90s.
Barkley was a better defender.
Barkley was a better defender. Defensive rating, Malone was kind of neutral, just barely positive. Barkley was definitely more positive. We know about his shot blocking ability. We've seen all the shot blocks, even undersized.
Exactly. That's what's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they were just showing the other day. I remember on NBA TV, we were watching his Barkley's top 10 rejections ever. I mean, he blocked the Dream. He blocked
he got
Dave Robinson.
up and was able to deflect the Admiral. Yeah.
So definitely got the edge there. Barkley a little bit of edge in the rebounds, but this is close, right? Barkley had a little more range, right? He could hit the three, especially later in his career, to kind of develop that outside shot. Malone was always right there in the elbow. I mean, he lived in the same spot. Here's the other thing. Got to talk about this, right? With Barkley, obviously moved from Philadelphia to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right?
With the Suns.
And then, did a lot of his work there. And then, tried to join up with Houston, chase a ring, didn't work out. And so kind of did it in different places, right? Didn't have the same crew. With Malone, it was all the same, right? His whole career.
And you gotta love that. You gotta love that.
Okay, so is that good or bad? I mean, he had Stockton feeding the ball. We just talked about Stockton, right? How, he had it easy because he had Malone. Well, Malone maybe had it easier because he had Stockton. And Barkley didn't have that.
Okay, so end of the game. You're needing a shot. Do you go to Barkley or do you go to Malone?
Well, that depends. Do I have Stockton or do I? Because that's what they did. Andy, what
were
they going to do? Pick and roll, dish it to Malone.
I'm talking about your team. You're picking the team.
I know what you're saying.
What do you need on your team?
All right, I know what you're saying, and you're trying to trick me into picking somebody. I'm not going to. Okay, because, Barkley could do it himself.
Okay,
right,
Barkley at the free throw line. Barkley at the free throw line versus Carl.
Yeah, at the end of the game, maybe. But I think who had the better career throughout the 90s? I think it's Malone, right? He was more of a scorer. Rebounding was about the same.
I am shocked you said that.
I know.
I so thought you were picking Barkley.
That's why I picked Malone.
I'm picking Malone.
You're picking Malone? I'm picking Barkley. See, I tricked myself. I thought that you were going to pick.
I was totally picking Malone.
Why? Why would you pick Malone?
Because to me, he is not going to be that hothead. Well, not as bad. Let's put this into perspective. He's not going to mouth off as much as Charles Barkley would. Okay?
Right.
He's not going to get himself in trouble as much as Charles Barkley did. Okay? Now, yes, he's got those elbows. He even took David Robinson out in one game. I was there, not even 5 feet away.
Oh, they both have those elbows. Malone's was a little bit bigger elbow.
But I'm going with the bigger, stockier, inside guy who's going to kind
the
of
pure power forward,
Yes.
right? Because Barkley could play, started off as the 3 and then moved on to the 4 when he got a little
Don't
more
get me
round.
wrong. Both dominant players would love either one on my team, but
Yeah.
I'm
you're
thinking
going
that
Malone.
edge. I'm thinking that consistency. I'm thinking that a little bit more composure at the end of the game. And I'm going Malone.
So you're going like the 1-game scenario, because like you asked me earlier with Reggie Miller, who you want, who's going to hit the free throw, hit that clutch
That's
shot.
what I'm thinking.
Okay, you're going with like this is a dream team, like this is a tournament, right? You need them, okay, because you're not going the whole season with a dream team, probably. No. All right, but yeah, the defense, Barkley's got the edge there. He's got a little bit more range, so obviously that's why I'm going Barkley. All right, that was probably the toughest one, but here's the most fun one, and this is going to be, I mean, you can't get more even than these guys. There is no wrong pick here, except for whichever pick you make, because it's.
I know they weren't on the same team, but this would be the ultimate twin tower. They are twins in every sense of the word, identical.
Statistically, absolutely. So, obviously, you're talking about the Admiral, David Robinson, yes, a Spur, and the Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon. So. Just think about that, because it's funny you say both of these were members of a twin tower, because at first, right, Olajuwon with Ralph Sampson, that was the original twin towers, I called it. Sampson, so sad. I mean, had a great career, but I mean, could have been a legend maybe if he could have stayed healthy, those knees. And then of course Dave Robinson, Tim Duncan, kind of lucked out there, got a pretty decent player and got those championships. Anyways, not here to talk championships. They both have 2, right? David got 2, grabbed one in 2003, and Hakeem led his team to 2. So, point wise, same.
It's identical. Their stats are identical.
In the 90s, just to clarify, right? Obviously, David Robinson came out a little bit later, right? Hakeem was a little bit older. But in the 90s, they both averaged about 23 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, field goal percentage, everything. It doesn't matter. It's the same. Rings the same. Everything the same. All right, so.
Straight up, who do you want on your team?
Who you got?
Who do you want on your team, right?
Who you got?
Easy choice for me.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Like, this is a real shock. This is a real plot twist here. Real shocker. Okay. So you're going to go with the Spur. Okay. Please give me an objective reason why you would pick Admiral over the Dream.
Because they're statistically the same, right? Sorry.
Looks
Just
beautiful.
trying to get the look
Looks
right.
good.
Okay. All right. So because they're statistically the same,
Right.
I think about, and they're pretty good guys, right? Together.
Oh.
Okay. David, I think, has a little bit of an edge as far as his community leadership and what he brings to the
come
what
on.
he
We're not
brings
talking
to
about charity work. We're talking about basketball.
We're still talking basketball. Who do I want on the court with me? Of course. He is a leader. He is going to be that leader. He is going to be that voice of reason. He's that little general's talking to him and he's all calm. 5-0, 5-0. And David Robinson's
You're
slow
going for
down.
intangibles.
Slow down. Okay. He's on my team. Looking at his guns, looking at his arms.
Okay, now you've gone totally off the rails here.
Because statistically, they are the same.
So let's just
why
say,
not go?
All right, you're a Spurs
Why not
fan,
go
so you want Dave
character?
Robinson.
Why not go? No.
We're not
Why not go
questioning
into
Hakeem's character, I hope.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
They were both pretty quiet guys. They were leaders because of their, dominance on the court.
David was quicker on the court.
All right, so now we're going with like the 40-yard dash times. Is that it? Okay.
Quicker on the court.
There's no. Okay.
Arms look better at the line.
There you go. All right, but Hakeem had the better facial hair, so no. There's no wrong choice here. Look, I'm gonna go just to oppose you. I'm gonna go with the Dream. Go with Olajuwon because you see the fire, the daggers. Look. There's no debating in those back-to-back seasons with the championships.
Don't even say my David was soft. Don't even.
I didn't even think. What are you putting words in my mouth? Look, I said those years where Houston won the championship, it was all about Hakeem. He was that team. Look, Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Mario Ellie, whatever. Those were just pieces. It was one guy. It was one guy. They just stood out there in the three-point line and waited for him to get triple teamed, and he hit an open three. Look, not that hard. That team was just all Dream, right? Offense, he dominated. He dominated Shaq, right, in the finals. He dominated on both ends of the court, offense and defense. He single-handedly.
So did David.
Single-handedly
Oh, come
led
on.
his team to championships.
Who did
David.
Sorry, Sean. Sorry, no offense, Vinny. Who did David have? Who did David have?
Tim Duncan.
No, how many years? Just the last couple?
Only the years he won the championships.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. What you got there for me now? See, David.
Let's pull up the triple doubles. Let's pull up the triple doubles.
Unless you're Russell Westbrook, then nobody cares about triple doubles. Okay, so I'm gonna give the edge because he was more dominant.
You're firing me up.
The stats, yeah, Rob David did a great job piling up the stats, but I'm just saying that the Dream was just more dominant individually. That's what I'm saying. And you're saying you're a Spurs fan,
am going with you.
Which is not surprising. All right, but so fitting there. Our all 90s Dream team, it has to have the Dream, so there you go. You already saw it coming, right? Olajuwon had to be on there. But those are our picks for the 90s Dream team. Gave some really hard disses to some players that we really didn't like Reggie Miller and Karl Malone. But we picked who we got. Who you got, right? Who do you think should be in the 90s Dream team? You disagree with any of these players, or is there somebody we missed? Somebody that needs a shout out there?
Yeah, leave a comment for us. We love to hear from the fans out there. Definitely let us know who your top 5 would be for the 90s.
Absolutely. And you know what? We could go on and on. There's so many players deserving of credit there, but that would be too easy. We're just listing players and we got to pick. Yeah. You got to pick, right? Going with my 5. Who are your 5? So I got Gary Payton. You picked?
I picked John Stockton.
All right. You love Reggie Miller, you said. I remember you said that. I'd rather have Grant Hill.
I picked Reggie Miller.
Out of position. Somehow you didn't pick Pippen, dissing Pippen. Did we agree on any of these?
Oh, my God.
So I got Payton, Hill, Pippen. You got Stockton, Miller.
I have Malone.
Mullen. You picked Malone. I got Barkley.
Did we go opposite on every single one?
Opposite.
Wow.
All right.
Is that a trend?
It figures. All right. Let us know who is your top 5, who you got. Leave us a comment. Hit us up with some shout outs on Twitter also at HoopsPostUp. Give us a follow, subscribe, like, donate, pay. What else? No. I mean, you can.
Hit that notification bell so you'll know when we put out new content. Let us know what you want to see. And don't forget to visit our website at hoopspostup.com.
That's right. Keeping the brand in sync. All right, guys. See, 90s in sync. You like how I worked that out?
Peace and love, everyone. Go Spurs, go. Sorry. So up next, we have who? Let's try that again.
Who dat?
Who?
Okay.
2 ultimate players.
Dream team.
Huh?
Actual Dream Team players.
What? Can we try that again?
Sorry.
Oh my God. I can't hear.
You hear what?
I don't know. You were telling me, Laurel and Yanni. I can't hear. Okay, let's try that again.
Okay.
All right.